Welcome back to round five commentary with your boy Sparky. I'm here with Victor. Say hi, Victor.
Hi, Victor.
You were a little, you were a little delayed on that one, Victor. That was great. That was good. You got me. You got me. But this week, Victor, I got you some Boros energy against some Gruul Eldrazi. These are going to be matchups we're going to see at RCQs. Which side do you want to be on here?
Well, I do apologize. I'm a little remote today. I'm not at my usual location, so sorry for the delay for everyone out there. But it's a tale as old as time. I do feel like though in the past, I don't know if Peter is running any Ugins, which I would love to see how that affects this matchup. But assuming that it's pretty stock, I know you were saying that Brian might have some spice for us coming in. That I'm interested to see how it affects the matchup.
Brian does have spice from Tarkir. When it comes up, we will point it out.
With that being said, I still think that Eldrazi just has too much for energy to deal with a lot of the times, but we'll see. Sometimes you know, variance is a factor, and that can certainly change the favor. But I do think that Eldrazi is probably a little favored in the matchup.
No, I think the ramp deck going over the top of the aggressive deck, especially when they have cards like Kozilek's Return, is 100% like you said. It's in a favorable category. But I think we may see here one of these spicy Tarkir cards. Brian goes to fetching, and he's got a bunch of 2-drops.
I'll play a Voice of Victory.
And Voice of Victory hits the battlefield.
Nice to see that Brian was able to get this in just to see how this would look. Peter going for the early removal, which is probably good, especially against voice, and also because you have to before that resolves.
Oh yeah, 100%. Once it's in play, Peter cannot do anything. It's definitely a pretty good card. I was playing Belcher and I lost to this card. This card is a house.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, I could see that being a problem for you just because you're trying to slow them down just long enough to combo off. And also sometimes you want to use their end step to, whir or do some other setup
Yeah.
stuff, which requires some spells. So for our friends at home, Voice of Victory, just in case you're not familiar, one of the new rares, I believe it's a rare, yep, from the Tarkir Dragonstorm set, color or generic in a white. Mobilize 2 whenever this creature attacks. Create 2 tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step, and it has the static ability of your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So
Yeah, that
interesting,
Grand
like
Abolisher
hero.
ability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hero
The
and
Grand, the
Grand
Grand
Abolisher.
Yeah. The card is nuts. I think it's going to give blue-white decks a fit. I think it's going to give like a couple of the decks like a problem because it's a one-man army. Like just applying pressure to Peter right now after Myco Spawn just got dealt with. And I mean theoretically, with some bombardment in play, it represents 5 damage over the course of an entire turn. 3 damage from the attack, and then if you sack the tokens with the trigger on the stack, that's 2 more extra damage.
They're
So
also
you can
red,
put
so if
somebody
you have
away
a
pretty
flip to
quick.
Johnny.
Yes, pretty big.
Oh, there you go.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Peter's definitely looking for some amount of. He's definitely looking for a K return here. I would also say possibly something pretty big, maybe a World Breaker. I think could get him out of this spot because
I
that'll
am
stop some of the swinging.
surprised that Brian oh, he looks like he has another one, so it's probably why he's not as afraid. Usually, he's pretty good about remembering to leave up some sort of interaction just in case he has to flip the Ajani.
Yeah,
But he doesn't seem that afraid of it, which is a little. I mean, listen, it's got a good payoff if he doesn't have it, but Peter does have a return in his hand, which hopefully he snaps off. I can't.
yeah.
There's really no reason why not to at this point.
The
Oh,
good part about that voice, it's a 1/3, baby. Grand
oh, it's a
Abolisher,
1/3.
2/2. Voice of
Oh, he does
Victory,
not have a
1/3.
spawn either. Did we just forget that there's a spawn? That's
Well, Peter the Cheater has been known to make mistakes benevolent in his favor sometimes. I do believe this will probably
I'm
get
gonna attack.
fixed,
Make my friends.
hopefully.
11.
I'm gonna play Fable Mirror Breaker.
I hope so. Anyway.
Yeah, I hope the spawn doesn't matter. Like if there's an Emrakul or something.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. It was a Fable as a flip card. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was just there. Okay. Alright.
And then it looks like he's got a voice and I think another Ajani.
Command step. He's gonna
Maybe.
sack the
No,
baseball fast
I think that was the Fable you saw.
Oh, you had 11?
Yeah.
Peter doing some counting.
Yeah, I mean he has 8 without
Okay.
the spawn, so oh boy.
Objects return.
Okay, so I kind of don't like this that we missed the spawn thing.
Hit everything for 4.
Yeah.
Well, you know. Oof. That's a lot of value though.
Yeah.
Pass to.
All right. I mean, if Peter does nothing else this turn, it's not the end of the world.
Surveil.
No,
But
and it's not like he blocked with it where it soaked up damage, but
Thanks, Brian.
it is what it is.
shout out to Peter, the accidental cheater.
Yes. Good old Pete. Gotta love it.
But it looks like he's just gonna pass here, and these are the moments where I talk about where just sometimes going over the top. This is a lot for Boros to
Yeah, how did-
overcome, especially with no ring.
Okay.
Yeah, and how do you as the aggro deck beat a 5/7?
Yeah, 3.
That can come back.
Yep.
Probably not many ways.
Ooh, this might be
Is
how to
this
do it.
Johnny
Yeah, you
into
are.
If that's an Ajani, that could be.
Voice of Victory.
Well, so I like this line here, right?
I'm gonna say
because-
when I attack you with it.
Because with this, now that Ajani can get cast on Brian's turn, and he can choose when he wants to do stuff and how things get moved around and tweaked. Because Peter will have no ability to respond with Voice of Victory in play if it stays in play. Does he have a K command?
Microspawn kicked. Hit one of your turns.
not as
Ooh.
That was
appealing, but it is a blocker. It does get in the way.
Yeah, but with your life total at 11, this could be an interesting predicament.
I'm just gonna get an Eldrazi tempo, I think. Wait.
Yeah, because okay, so you swing with the voice to get 2 guys.
I was swing 5.
There's an
No, that
interesting
doesn't-
line.
I got
It-
10.
You got a 10.
I think you have to play the Ajani
Play
first.
Eldrazi tempo for turn.
Okay. You really like that card.
I do.
Oh, he attacked. He attacked with the World Breaker. This might be like a free attack with the voice.
Alright, Fable.
Oh, it was a Fable. Not
Oh,
an
it's a
Ajani.
Fable.
Okay.
All right.
Make my little
Yeah, that plays out way differently.
Yeah.
So now,
Alright, let's go to combat.
can you swing?
Sure.
Gonna attack.
Oh, he's gonna swing.
I'll make 2 other friends.
Yeah, because
4 blocks. I'm gonna sack these creatures to shoot him. And kill him.
Okay. Take one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Brian wins this race, but it's an interesting race nonetheless. I like the aggressive line
Well-
from Brian here.
So what? It's you swing for 3, you sack 2, you hit for 5, but you're a turn behind.
Well, he doesn't
No.
get to hit with the other two dudes because he sacked them before damage. There was no.
No, but I'm
there's
saying
like-
that this following turn here.
Yeah.
I'll go to combat.
Okay.
That's an
He's got an
Emrakul.
Emrakul. What's
Yeah,
in the
I think there's an
graveyard
Emrakul and maybe a
creature?
command.
I think he's got more than enough. Let's see.
This
2,
is
4,
not
6,
going to go Brian's way.
8, 9, 10,
Yep.
11, 12, 13. Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, that's just dead.
I'll go to your turn.
Yeah. Alright, untap, upkeep, draw. I got discharge and sacred foundry.
Fable goes to 2.
Yeah.
Discard both those cards.
Thinking. You're not gonna discard anything.
Okay.
You'll shock yourself, put yourself to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just dead without having to do anything because then he swings.
You Cast discharge.
with
Swings and then sacks
the
all the guys.
Spend a 3
Okay.
energy. You're gonna stack this and hit yourself for 1.
Oh, Peter missed lethal.
Dude, yeah, lethal.
oh, I mean, I guess it's
Make 2 creatures.
Oh yeah.
well, Brian telling him, which
Yeah.
oh, I would have made Peter maybe regret that just in case you saw what
No, that's fair. I think at a fun level FNM that we're at,
Okay, on the draw.
he just wants to let Peter know what the smart idea or smart plan is. Ooh,
I
love
mean,
it.
probably unlikely that even that way that
No,
you know
you're right, I should've.
Brian untaps again for his extra turn and has something
Yeah.
go on of merit because
Roll your board to this
No,
I
I can't
mean-
think of a single card in his deck that would have stopped whatever was going to happen, because they're not only is the Emrakul in play, also the World Breaker is still in play, so it's a problem. But we
Yeah.
shall see how far this goes. Brian looks like he's bringing in some Blood Moons and some Molten Rains, and maybe I think that was. I didn't see the last card he was going to bring in, but it looks like he's taking out Flages. I think he's taking out Discharges, which I believe is the go-to method for Boros energy to do.
Looks like he's keeping in static prison. I could take or leave the static prisons just because Eldrazi just has such a easy time getting rid of them sometimes. But maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
100%.
Maybe it buys you just enough time.
Oh no, the white card is March of Otherworldly Light.
Does he not have static prison? I thought I saw it in his deck.
It is in his deck. I don't think he takes it out because I think he thinks that he can get the signets, right? Or
Okay.
the talismans. Like you can steal a talisman with it, and you can actually Static Prison doesn't care about CMC. You can get rid of a blocker with it. I think him just keeping cards in his deck that get rid of the blockers is probably what he wants to do. But he could go back and take them out here. I think that was maybe a Fable he cut to bring in 2 Blood Moons, 3 Molten Rains, a Wear Tear, an Orm's Chant, and a Clarion. Oh, what's the 3-mana white dragon that people are on about?
It's from the new set.
Yeah, it's Clarion something. Clarion Conqueror.
From our game.
Check this card out.
2 and a white for Flying Dragon. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. 3/3.
That doesn't seem bad.
Yeah, better than Windrake, and I think it's pretty decent. I know Young Dingo's been working on something with 4 voices and some number of these in the sideboard over Stony Silence because it attacks, where Stony Silence doesn't and costs only 1 more. I don't think that's that bad. I would probably want this over maybe a what is it? Maybe a Flage in certain matchups. Maybe a Fable, because it's not.
Well,
it's not
I would
symbiotic.
honestly-
You can't activate the stuff either. So you
yeah,
can't
so
activate your
maybe
planeswalkers.
taking out a Johnny's better because you can't activate the other side of a Johnny with this.
I shouldn't have
Yes, which is really weird.
So
if you're gonna bring
I
in a
don't,
bunch.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be on the play.
I figured.
definitely interesting. This is a card I could also see black white playing and wanting because it's a creature.
It's brutal.
Yeah, because I don't think nothing else has an activated ability in that deck. So.
Your relics do, but nothing else does.
Okay, but I mean, there's a good chance you've probably used your relic already. And worst
Or you
case,
got
you
your
can
use
set it
out
up
of
where
it.
you just pop it beforehand, and then.
Or you can use Felia
Mhm.
to blink this, then do your relic stuff, and then end of turn it comes back.
I played it for so long.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah. Pete going down to 6 cards on the draw here. We'll see how well that works for him. I do see, I think, red card in Brian's hand has got to be only Ragavan, possibly, or it looks like a Ragavan and an Orm's Chant and possibly an Ajani.
I'll go here. I'm gonna go get Sacred Foundry, play a Monkey Boy.
Yeah, you will.
I'll pass.
Ooh.
Uh,
I'd love to see a Blood Moon drawn off the top here from Brian.
play this Paducah Bog.
That would be really advantageous.
Yeah, especially with Bajuka Bog.
You can.
Go. Just because it annoys
Or
him.
even a
Not
Molten
the-
Raid.
Now it annoys him.
Now, yeah.
Oh, Molten Raid. Yeah, any one of those would be devastating.
Alright, he needs to hit some gas.
Especially because Peter, I assume Peter probably molded something with some sort of like board removal, because
Yeah.
understandable, you kind of have to. Really awkward though on the bog, but if he has Temple or Lab to follow it up, maybe not so bad.
Alright, let's attack here.
Gets a talisman,
That's-
so
That's a steal.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if it's something we want.
I think Brian's got enough lands where I don't know if playing a talisman really does much of anything.
I will say it's an odd keep. He should have a treasure here.
I think he figured it out. Yes, he did.
I'll go fetch a basic.
We're gonna use it anyway, but
Johnny.
alright, so that wasn't a Johnny.
I'll have 2 energy. So I go 16 then to 18.
This is a good line from him because he knows at this point that the likelihood that Kozilek's Return is going to enter or be played is null.
And then I will.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's
cannot
no way of
happen.
there's no way of 3 mana with red mana happening from Peter just yet. So I really like this.
Go.
Flood the board, put as much pressure on as you can. I think Brian has 2 Arena of Glories and an Orm's Chant, which is pretty big.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, right? Because it's tough with if return is what he's most afraid of. The Orange Chant only plays around it for a moment, because if you do it on your turn and for some reason Peter can't cast it somehow or doesn't cast it,
Attack with the gang.
then he just does it again later on. I don't know. It's a
2,
tough
3,
call.
4, 5, 6.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 12. Alright, make a treasure token.
Oh, Rumble's a good hit. I could see Brian maybe
Ooh,
casting that
yeah.
for some value.
I am gonna cast that Rumble using the
Yeah,
treasure
you will.
token.
Yeah. Okay.
Basic. Was it 4 cards?
Yeah, 4 cards, take permanent.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's easily the Pyromancer.
Last card.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
2 lands.
Yeah.
Sacred Boundary.
Okay.
Do.
There is an Eldrazi spawn. Oh boy, I think we might miss it.
Yeah, because you can slam.
And that's 3 energy and 1 gain of life.
Okay, Brian did remember it. Good.
Oh, yeah. You do.
I'm at 19. I need to get a token for that. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
So
I could actually play
with
that.
this, is it more imperative for the Orm's Chant? Oh, Pete just packs it up.
Alright.
Pete did not have I guess he didn't have the Kozilek's Return.
I call you a meanie.
Or the red. Or both.
I'll be on the play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hey man, sometimes your aggressive deck just gets aggressive. Love to see it.
Yeah. I would love to see that 6 that Peter kept,
Yeah.
just because I don't know if
Especially with
if you even
Bog on
have
one.
that
We're not
treasury-
trying to make fun of you, Peter. That's not what's happening here. We want to be constructive in our criticism on how good that hand was, given your opponent possibly is keeping 1 drop into 2 drop.
He got 1 good hit and stopped you from ramping.
Especially because of the new mulligan rule, you're just sometimes gonna have to mold the 5. I know it doesn't feel great, but sometimes you have to not lose first to win.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
and you might get a hand where you're like, "Wow, this 5 is literally just gonna hold them off." But that's what you're trying to do. Especially when you're on Gruul Eldrazi, you're trying to find that inevitability of I will be bigger than you at some point if you don't kill me fast enough. And
For sure.
you got to lean on that, and sometimes that's going to be a hand of maybe just the Kozilek's Return and hope that your opponent plays into it.
You can get paired into junk. You can
Yeah.
get like
I fully agree, and I think the same could be said about both of these decks, where you kind of have to relatively mulligan aggressively to good strong hands. Like looking at this hand from Brian,
I had pretty much the first game.
this hand is Chant, a Johnny, and Ragavan with some lands, or that could be a Fable. If it's a Fable, I don't like it on the draw, but if it's in Johnny, I think I would have loved it. But they're both gonna mulligan, and like I said, aggressive mulligans keep you in the game. There's a poker adage: as long as you have a chip and a chair, you're still in the game. And I think keeping a bad 7 is worse than keeping a very good 5.
Yeah, I could definitely agree to that.
There have definitely been a few games I've won on 5 cards, so it is doable. Let's see if they like their 6s. Peter's going to be on the play for this one. What's a 6 that you want to see from Peter? Is there something like we haven't seen any of the explosive draws yet, right?
Yeah, I don't
I'm trying.
I don't know. He said I'm trying, which I'm not a fan of. I don't think you're really gonna get
Red.
too explosive. I mean, here's a decent start of just having the Utopia sprawl.
I'm sorry.
It
I'm sorry to laugh over you.
no, you're
Brian
okay.
bottomed a bombardment and then drew a bombardment.
You didn't know that thought or it's like Moto. Sometimes it's just bugged.
Yeah.
Go.
I mean,
Ooh.
not a bad card to have more than one of because sometimes they do deal with it, but really depends because it doesn't look. I don't know what does he have to add to the board there? He's got a chant and an ocelot.
I don't mind the idea of playing Ocelot Pride and then on Peter's turn chanting.
I'll pass.
Cosmic's return.
That wasn't very nice.
No, he doesn't even want to
Wow.
deal with it.
Draw.
I mean, to be fair, why not get rid of it and then eventually that just becomes another removal spell later on.
Hold on. You have a trigger.
I'm not doing it.
Well, I can respond to the trigger.
Yeah, Peter getting a little ahead of himself.
I'm gonna change you.
Oh no, Peter. Oh jeez. There may have been a little of a slip up there, but yes,
Forgot about that.
there is a trigger that goes on the stack that both players can respond to, and Peter kind of time walked himself if he would have had another land.
Yeah, which I mean, you're not always thinking about, but and let me say this for everyone at home, slow down, right? You're only gonna hurt yourself usually rushing in certain
And
moments.
playing
There,
fast,
there are
yeah.
there are easy ways to save yourself time doing certain things, right? Like making a token, like saying, okay, I'm gonna make this token. I don't have the token yet. I'm gonna make it on your turn. It'll be there before you do anything relevant. But go ahead. You could do something of relevance, right? Um, and that's how you can save yourself some time here and there. But don't rush in-game actions. And now Peter's getting
No, and I will say, brilliant heads up play from Brian. If Peter had another like a double land, he was getting blown out here, like only having 2 lands, and he uses the Thraben Charm to hit the Utopia Sprawl and take 1 mana away from Peter, and Peter does not have another land to play. This is huge here.
I'm gonna go fetch basic.
I think he's fetching a white for this Blood Moon.
Slam Blood Moon. Sure.
Oh, jeez. Now, all that really does is give Peter a red source, but it also turns off all the soul lands that are left in Peter's deck. So Peter's going to have to play very fair from here on out, even though he possibly has something like a K return if it's in his hand.
I am interested to know if Peter had something that he could have put under the labyrinth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dash Ragavan? Oh boy.
Trigger 19 energy.
Yeah.
Go to combat. Oh man, I'm gonna shoot you for 2.
Oh, I called the return there because he was doing a lot of nothing, and it was the only card that made sense.
Okay.
This gets him his colorless mana. We need one more to make
that 4th.
And the fourth, yeah, it does make a difference.
Okay.
Pyromancer.
Pyro.
You got it.
Discard, get 1 elemental, and draw 2.
Yeah.
Ragavan and
And Ocelot Pride.
okay. Brian does have to be careful here. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to overextend here, yeah.
And I'll pass.
you've already seen 2 returns, and there's not going to be a big creature coming down just yet.
That's fun.
Yep.
Especially because Peter still hasn't hit a land on a natural.
I'm curious what land Peter goes to get here, because I'm not sure.
At this mountain.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
That's fine. Go.
All right. Draw.
Yep.
He already has 2 forests, right? I mean, a mountain's the same thing at this point. I don't think he'll ever
Yep.
need 3 green.
Okay. I'm gonna exile the Pyromancer from my graveyard.
Yep.
Make 2 more tokens.
Yeah, you will.
All right, so he's going to use the elementals probably to clear the way.
And then I will go to combat.
I think you just see how he blocks first.
Go to blocks.
Yep.
I'll block the Ocelot Pride.
Brian does have City's
I'm
Blessing.
going to
Yeah.
go to first strike damage.
Yeah.
And sack.
Oh, he saves a token this way.
Yes. And he saved one of the ones that came into play,
20.
so it matters for Ocelot Pride when it copies.
20.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if that was going to matter.
Permanents, I
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere. I'm gonna move to my end step. I'll make 2 cats and 1 elemental.
You got it. I'll draw for turn.
Yep.
Peter eager to take his turn in the face of this army Brian has assembled.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's no land here,
Sorry, Microsoft.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Okay, so
Okay.
assuming nothing else happens,
All right.
you lose 2 guys, and you get 2 more cats. That is
That's a Ragavan and a guide.
and a guide of souls. See, here's where it gets tough, right? Because Peter still doesn't have the land for 7. So
We know he doesn't have the land because he hasn't played it. Although he could be sandbagging it. There could be like some kind of chicanery going on.
Gonna sack 3 tokens to kill.
I'm surprised that he just uses the 3 and not wait for the block just to see. But I guess this just gets in more overall.
It gets in all the damage, technically.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take 6.
Goes to 10.
I missed the guide trigger. Yeah. Do you want it? Okay.
You're at 21.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he dash Dragon Man afterwards.
Oh, that was the land on top.
Treasure. Okay. 22 from Ocelot Pride.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'll go to
then-
end step.
Yep.
I'll make
He's
1
gonna
more
get a
treasure.
treasure,
And then
and then
And then 2 cats.
that has triggers for this. So this is for what's 24. Yeah. No.
24 to 10.
Draw for turn.
Hold on.
there's
Yeah.
a Ragavan back in Brian's hand.
12.
Yeah. Peter's moving a little too quickly here because there should be 2 cats here that aren't in play yet.
Mountain.
I
There's
get
also
that
not
he
a
wants to.
Ragavan.
Cast the World Breaker.
Yeah.
Cast triggers. There's 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully they.
One cast trigger? Oh.
So, cast trigger. I want to hit Goblin Bombardment. Actually, I want to target Blood Moon. I'm sorry.
Moon?
Yeah.
This is
I
this is
don't
more
even get that one. I wouldn't. I don't even get it because the Blood Moon's not even doing anything anymore.
Trigger.
Yeah, let me think.
You're already at 7. You're not.
10.
The ramping isn't gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I would have 1,000%.
Yeah, put me to 3.
Oh boy,
In
and
your hand.
Oh,
No, they remembered. They remembered that the
Okay.
regular ends go back.
okay. Well, that's. I mean, that's better that they just remember that.
yeah, 3.
So there's definitely an interesting line here. So you can, like,
How much damage?
4 to each.
it deals 5 to each, doesn't it?
5. It deals
Yeah.
5.
He said 4 twice. I'm not sure Peter knows what his cards do.
That's on
Okay, so
cast.
he's not on the battlefield.
We'll work on that, or he'll never forget it because we said it right now, and then maybe he'll
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That's 4.
He's gonna
So
put
go to 4.
Peter down to 4.
You're right. So I'm at 4.
Interesting enough, a Spyro just went to the graveyard. That's 2 more damage. So if Peter turns his dude sideways, he could just be dead out of nowhere.
Well, Peter does have a Devourer, so maybe he's gonna hit the Goblin. But see, I don't understand because he could have just
If he-
one of the bombardment. No creature becomes extra reach at this point, and then he just untaps and then uses the World Breaker afterwards to get rid of or sorry, the Devourer to get rid of the Blood Moon.
Yeah. I just don't think he has the colorless source. He would need another colorless source to do that. Because Devourer costs CC.
Oh yes, it cost up. Okay, I missed that. So
I think
for all
he's
the
looking
other-
at. I think he's looking at his hand because he has multiple cards that are CC, and he wants to be able to cast spells. And I think that's kind of what.
No, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Blades, don't be a blade.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of stuck there.
I mean, if it's a 1-drop, I think that's it too.
But there's
I'll keep that on top.
a likelihood that like with Peter at 4 life, we're coming to the closing
Drew off turn.
parts of this game.
Plane or prison.
Oh, here we go. The Static Prism is actually going to matter.
Breaker.
I'm glad that me asking about that card potentially being a thing.
6.
So
Yeah, well, because the Dash Ragavan gets in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll deal 2 damage to you.
Oh, and it makes another treasure, so he could get back the Spyro tokens.
Treasure token.
And there is card in his deck. Look at that.
oh yeah,
2.
I'm at 2.
Oh yeah, this game's over.
he is dead unfortunately.
3 treasure tokens to exile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Creatures. Shoot you twice.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's a good one, folks. Hey, packing them in. And that's all we got for this week, folks. We will see you in the next one.
I got lucky with the champ flag.
Yeah.
Like stopping your ramp.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell. And if you'd like to support us, you could find us at our Bonfire store.
And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Nova Games and Brick, for hosting us for FNM. And please make sure to use our Mana Traders coupon code OCHM at signup for 25% off your third month.
I've been Sparky. Say goodbye, Victor.
Goodbye, Victor.